Welcome back, everybody. Rewatchers Council is live here on a Thursday afternoon. For those of you Central slash, I guess Pacific and also Mountain or whatever that's worth time zones. And if you're watching later on and not live, then whatever time you guys are watching. Hello, how are you doing? Snark here. Pleased to be joined. More than pleased. Please just punch to be joined by Brennan. How you doing, Bal?
I'm good. I'm good.
The only councilman on this show never to be indicted. Now, let's go on to Buffy's basically the season finale. It's there's another episode to come,
Yeah.
but it's more or less just a postscript on what happens here, what happened throughout this season, I suppose. This one is season 4, episode 21, Primeval, guys. Its original air date, May 16th, 2000. Written by David Fury, of course, integral member of the team. The last one he wrote was The Iron Team, directed by James A. Contner. So you got two veterans taking on the duties here. This last one was New Moon Rising. Now, the creator of the show decided he was going to do this next one instead. So he had them wrap this up now. It's I will say it is personally the worst. The worst season finale you can get. Yes, I get the next episode is the actual season finale, but it's like, is it really? Like, it really doesn't wrap anything up for this season. So this is one that wraps everything up. What did you think, just off the top? What do you think of this episode, Brennan? Before we even get into the show.
Well, I think that Adam is probably the least interesting of all the villains.
I think by saying probably, you're going a little light. He is certainly the least interesting.
Yes, and I was glad to be rid of him.
Yes.
And it's always cool to see Buffy go crazy.
But not just Buffy. And
Everybody
we'll
working together.
yeah, I have something that I made that I compare it to. So we'll talk about that when we get there. Okay, moving on. The number one movie when this episode came out, once again, Gladiator.
Nice.
Big hit. It was a big hit, guys. Not just an Academy Award winning film. Made some money. Made some money, guys, which is important.
Are you
Important,
not entertained?
yeah, important enough that they waited 24 years to do a sequel for it.
No comment on the sequel.
Okay, very good. The number one song in the USA, and oh boy. Now, I consider this a one hit wonder. I don't know if she had any other hits. There's nothing that comes close to this by her. It was so big, Brennan. She ended up in the Spider-Man movie, the first one.
Oh.
Number one song in your United States of America this week, I Try by Macy Gray.
Oh my goodness.
Huge song. Nothing she ever did again came close. Number one song in Canada, Peculiar. A peculiar one. Nothing as It Seems by Pearl Jam.
Oh my gosh. Pearl Jam. Oh.
I like Pearl Jam. It's of all the grunge bands, for me, kind of goes down. Great first album. Second album was good. Vitology, good. This came out in, I believe, like their fifth or sixth album. They weren't touring because they were fighting with Ticketmaster and all these things. It goes to number one in Canada. I re-listened to it this week, and I was like, all right. pretty lackluster Pearl Jam song, but Canada loved it.
Mhm.
Number one. I skipped the UK for a reason because I think of all the songs, even "I Try" coming out, which is huge in the US, huge here in Canada. Eventually, it's a song that people know, people from the day know. But the UK got the jump on everybody because somebody came out with their second album, and the debut single went off, as they say. But I don't think we're going to have a chance to talk about it in the number one spot in the US because it takes a couple weeks. But the number one song in the UK this week, when Primeval comes out, oops, I did it again.
Oh no.
It's Britney.
Oh no.
It's Britney. Isn't like the video on like Mars or something like that? Yeah,
Something like that. I
she
don't
did.
know.
She did it again. Oops, she did it again, Brennan. The number one
Oh boy.
song in the United Kingdom, and not my country, but I am a member of the same Commonwealth as them. So there we go.
Not
DV.
me.
Nope, nope, nope. You guys famously fought a war to make sure you couldn't say that. Now, DVD summary. Xander, Willow, and Giles join forces to magically imbue Buffy with supernatural powers in order to do battle against Adam and overthrow his plans for creating a demonoid army. I think that's giving a lot of credit to the Scoobies on this
Yes.
one, but yeah, that's fine. I think it's them that came up with the idea. So actually, now I'm kind of think about it. All right, I get it. We'll say this. I get it. That's fine. Now it's going to pick up right where, well, basically where the Yoko Factor left off. We're going to see Buffy at the high school looking for her beau, Riley.
Of
Uh,
course.
no avail, Brennan. He's over with Adam, finding out that Professor Walsh, I'm sorry for laughing, installed a behavior modifier on him. So Adam now has him under complete control. Now, Adam's going to keep referring to Riley as his brother, which he's done before. Riley's not a huge fan of this, but there's not much he can do. Adam thinks once Riley gets used to all the power he's about to receive, he's going to like it. And that's how it goes to the credits. Yes. Uh, yeah, Riley. This absolutely makes no sense. I'm going to
Yes.
say this right now. When we get to the end, none of this makes any sense. What happened to Riley here? But we'll talk about it here. Things. So it turns out Maggie, Professor Walsh, had a plan to create beings from only their choicest parts. Only the most succulent of meats can
Ooh.
go into Maggie Walsh created a creature. She's like Aunt Jemima, but of human robot demon hybrids. You know what I
Ooh.
mean? Only the best. Riley has technology installed in him that's what Adam says, anyways. So that's why they're brothers. They were both tampered with to create superior beings. Now, you've watched this series. I know, Brennan. Would you consider Riley a superior being?
A very dull being.
He's pretty dull. He's fairly dull. Superior? Well, okay. Season 5 around the corner, everybody. I'm sure. I'm sure she would have gotten around to adding demon downloads to him, but some doodads, perhaps. And I think that was all
Mm.
part of the plan for whatever was to come here at the end. Spike has come back now. By the way, I'm going to say on a whole, until maybe the very end, one of the worst Spike episodes of the entire series. Not the worst. The worst is, we're going to talk about the worst. But up to now, this is probably the worst Spike episode.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
plan to break up the Scoobies didn't really work.
Well, there's that. He just seems bland. Yeah, there's just really nothing to Spike at all in this episode. The last episode, I thought he was a little better. Like I have a problem with him and the Yoko Factor and this whole thing of what he was doing. It's just now, and truth be told, like in the DVD commentaries, like there was mistakes made. and stuff like that. So they had to try and clean stuff up. But, yeah, I just don't think Spike,
Yeah.
like just the voice of Spike, is very interesting at all. Anyways, all he wants, he keeps repeating this whole time, is the chip gone. Every time you see Spike and Andrew, like, let's get this chip out of here. But Adam says, this isn't good enough. You may have broke up a friend, but she isn't where I want her to be. Like he basically has to taxi her into the initiative first to ensure there's massive demon loss as well when the plan starts. Uh, okay. Adam helps discover a small flaw in his plan when he's saying, like, well, don't worry, I gave the discs to the witch, and the plan the plan to keep the Scoobies apart. Says, yeah, it's like she's supposed to get Buffy in there. How? Then it kind of like a candle, like not a light bulb. So her spikes, but like a candle. Is like, oh, all right, I get it. So she's gonna need help from Willow, whatever. So he has to get off again because Adam unhappy with his vampire compadre right now. So Willow, one of my favorite scenes, gonna go visit a very hungover, a former librarian, former watcher.
Yes.
She forgot some to grab her laptop. I don't remember MacBooks being that big in 2000. It's a chunky one. It's a chunky MacBook.
Oh
Considering,
man, old technology.
yeah, considering like you can get the same processing power in a phone these days,
Mm-hmm.
but of course this is an Apple phone. I'm ridiculous. Anyways, I don't know, some people really like Apple phones for some reason. Anyways, go that they got the disc they got from Spike. Some the awkward small talk here. I just every time I see Tara, I'm pretty happy. I really
That's
enjoy
true.
Tara.
That's true.
So just her smiling at him all the time, it's like, okay, yeah, everything's good. Yeah, I love all that kind of stuff. So they back at the dorm, taking a look at that 8x10 picture they had taken of each other, the original Scoop, well, Xander,
Yep.
in that park, professionally done, it seems, and an 8x10. Any 8x10s of your friends just carrying around with you all the time? The friends that you see all the time?
Not really.
I don't think I'd ever would in a million years. I have a bunch of photos of my friends. They're in a shoebox where they belong. Everybody, that's exactly where
Mm,
things like that belong. Anyways, she's gonna grab a huge axe and head out. She's got work to do. It doesn't matter. They're quarreling once again. This is what they fight every year, so this is annual thing. Yeah, get into a tiff. They should all get used to this by now.
yes.
And we get Anya over at Xander's place, trying to rouse him from his naked sleep here. What are you gonna say to Brennan? She
Yes.
says that he wants to go check out the work board at the unemployment office. He says there's never anything good. He keeps getting jobs. He keeps getting jobs. He either like he gets fired from a few, sure, but he must leave a few as well.
Yes.
Anyways, he starts considering the army after what he heard the gang said that he should be doing.
Mm,
Until Anya, of course, reminds him that don't they wake up early in the army, and that just that was it.
that's a
No
deal
chance.
breaker. Deal breaker.
Yeah, yeah. There was going to be no Beetle Bailey esque Xander Harris. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's starting to think that all of his criticisms are valid. Uh, but you know what? We get this mode here. She doesn't care what those jerks say. She is in love with him, Brennan,
Oh, yes.
and he reciprocates by he doesn't do anything. He just lies there. He lets it soak in. It's like,
Uh,
well, whatever.
typical
He's
Xander.
yeah, he's deep in self pity. He's like waist deep in self pity right now. No, what they shouldn't matter. He says it doesn't. But he's a huge liar about that. I think he
Mm-hmm.
really does care. But he's back at the cave, got her axe. It's gonna come upon Adam's lair. He comes upon it pretty easily, I would imagine, considering she was just there the day before or something like that. Now, he's not around. Of course, him and Riley are over at the initiative. Behind, turns out, 314, where there is yet another secret lab, this time used for making monsters, including Brennan, Maggie herself.
Yes.
They got Lindsay Krause back in here as a more zombified Professor Maggie Walsh, but we see her walking around. Also, Dr. Engelman is back.
Mm.
Not alive. Let's get this right. Not alive.
Nope.
More of a zombie seems even than Professor Walsh, but they're helping out. They're doing their part. Turns out, they're been busy making a little play date for our foe, Adam. It's Riley's best friend, Forrest.
Crumbling.
Forrest is now a demon-ish monster, just like Adam, which is I'm not happy to see Forrest again. Never liked the guy. Anyways, Buffy's gonna run into Spike in the cave. He says he's been looking for a weekend getaway place. So that's easily, you can buy that. Everyone likes to go have a place to go relax, even if you live in a crypt. But for some reason, she buys it. Why does she just take Spike's word at face value? Why did any of them? But we're getting into that. Spike's gonna act annoyed that Adam has been in the cave here. She says, "Are you scared out?" Spike's gonna ask about if those discs works, but up a little bit here. Finally, Buffy starts paying attention when he mentions that, especially since you and Willow are on the outs. He should have no idea that happened. And now all right. Why she just didn't take care of Spike right then and there for saying it. Maybe a credit to how nice Buffy can be at the
Mm.
wrong time, if you know what I mean. She can be nice at the wrong time. Now, Willow's still working on those discs at Tara's place when they start decoding by themselves. It's like I think she got it right. It's like getting to see the Christmas presents on Christmas Eve and stuff like that. She's happy they start decoding. Anyways, gets interrupted all this happiness. Buffy's gonna call for Willow. I do like how Tara says, "No, she's right here." It was like, wait. Maybe she's around here. Like, the back in the day when you didn't have caller ID, come up with excuses all the time. I remember I have very few memories of my parents being together. They broke up when I was pretty little. One thing I do remember is my mother, after picking up the phone, saying to my dad before she does it, "Are you here?" So
Mm.
yeah. I have like three or four other memories of my parents together, but that's one of them. Anyways, before we find out what's happening over there with Buffy and Willow and et al., we go back to the lab. Riley's going to try to talk to Professor Walsh here. Forrest is going to inform her, don't worry about it. She's dead. She can't do it. She's just artificially reanimated. It's just like I would imagine most zombies. She says she has little to no brain activities. Let's remember that for 1 minute because Riley's going to call Forrest a walking corpse. And this is some of the first acting. Like, I don't know if they gave, I can't remember who's off the top of my head who's playing Forrest, but if they gave him his script that day, but he is terrible as
Yeah.
Zombie Forrest.
Yeah.
He's awful. He's like this, all right. He gets, anyways, Adam gave him power and strength and he wants to have another shot at beating up Buffy. Says Adam's going to do the same thing for you, Riley. Don't worry about it. He's going to get you these demon things as soon as he has the parts. Riley says he's not going to let it happen. This one, you don't have a choice in the matter. Like you got this ridiculous chip put inside you all of a sudden, so don't worry about it. Then we see little to no brain activity. Professor Walsh tell Riley that he's a good boy and jabs a needle in him. Yeah, little to no brain activity would mean like
Yeah.
basically blinking or something like that, not knowing who the guy is and then speaking to. Come on, come
Yes.
on. Who did this one again? David Fear. David Fear, the guy prays getting the mustard out, and then he wrote
Mm-hmm.
this part. Not great. Not. Anyways, the original Scoobies are now all gonna meet up on campus. Buffy's gonna ask Willow who told her that they were talking behind her back. She's gonna answer Spike, and then ask Xander who told him they wanted him to join the army, which is also ridiculous. And why would he get so mad about it? Anyways, he said, well, he didn't say it in those words. Then Giles is going to consider himself very stupid.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, just relax there, Giles. Buffy says that where all this came from is it's only Spike. There was no underlying tension between us all. There was nothing else going on in our lives that caused this. It was Spike and Spike alone. Of course, the other Scoobies aren't so sure about this at all, but agree to move on. Buffy thinks that Adam's got something to do with it. I think he does have something to do
Yes.
with it as well. No. Uh, Xander fails to act surprised that Spike and Adam could be working together. Then Willow tells him that all these discs got decoded. It says things about 314. There's going to be a final phase where Adam's going to Mr. Potato Head together a bunch of fellas, himself. Buffy knows that Adam wanted her to know that that she wanted him there and stuff like that. This is where they figure out, oh, yeah, he was just Trojan horsing the initiative. He knew about all this all the time. Packet full of demons, turn everything off. They're going to attack the soldiers. Lots of demon parts, lots of soldiers parts. That's why everybody's going to be in there. It's a what a kill. They say it kill surprise, Brendan. No,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be a soldier and demon bloodbath. Anyways, Buffy knows it's like, isn't well having you there? Isn't Adam worried about you killing him? She's like, nope, nope. I don't think he's too. I don't think he's too worried about that. So, Adam says he can feel that the Slayer is coming. It's like he's Darth Vader. And one of your favorites.
Yes.
It's like there's a disturbance in the Sunnydale Forest here. Spike
Uh-huh.
again. Oh, this is the damn chip out. Adam wants her in the initiative first before he does anything ridiculous. Like get that chip out of his head that he's been whining about this entire time. Now we go back to Giles. Buffy's going to tell the gang the info that Riley got from Jonathan that Adam's uranium power source is near his spine. Whatever reason, okay. Willow wonders if magic would work. I think this is a good idea. I think just a uranium erasing spell probably doesn't exist, but magic could be a good idea. Giles
Yeah.
thinks that a paralyzing spell could work. All right, but he can't do it. Only an experienced witch can do it. I'm pretty sure that Giles has a bunch of experience doing spells, but that's fine. And only if they're close. And you got to be close enough to the person or near the subject. Then Xander's going to bring up the idea of using everyone's skills at once, just offhand. Giles is into it. And once in a while, Giles is going to jump on a Xander idea and say, you know what? That's the way to go. He's not wrong about it, but I'm going to talk about that when I get there. Anyways, they're all going to head to the initiative. Once again, the least secure government facility, especially about demons, the United
Yes,
States has ever produced.
it
Now,
seems so, yes.
they're going to do an enjoining spell. Brendan, a famous enjoining spell that you've heard about a million times. And while very powerful, also extremely dangerous. Why is it
Yes.
dangerous? It's never said. It's never said why it's extremely dangerous. It seems to eventually work just fine. Buffy and Willow are going to begin rappelling down the elevator shaft. Buffy's going to apologize for everything being strained. Willow
This,
says that
this is
the
a very, like, speed scene.
yeah,
Right?
they're taking their time. This is like when Batman and Robin would always scale up a
Oh,
building and
yes, yes, absolutely.
but without the guest stars just poking their heads out the
And
windows and
yes,
stuff
Sammy
like
Davis Jr. sticking his head out the window.
that. I love Batman. That's my still my favorite Batman.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Oh,
Anyways,
yes.
Willow's gonna say that first year of college is tough to keep high school friends with, and then Buffy says that no, I want to stay together. Like she misses her, she misses Giles, she misses Xander, she misses the whole Scooby gang. Considers herself a bad friend.
Mm,
I don't know if you go that far. She just had her own things to do and important job, I would say. And Willow tells her that she could have been a better friend too. That she hid things. You know, uh, just between you and me and the show and everyone who ever watched it, I think Willow was going through some things this year. To say that she had a transformative in her life and being quite simple to say. You know what I mean? Anyways, Buffy's gonna tell her that she loves her and that she's her best friend. Will says she loves her too. They're gonna hug. They're gonna slide to the bottom. It seems quite rapidly, although inexperienced repellers, they seem to land just fine. Xander's gonna get to the bottom. They're gonna hug him too. Remind him that they love. It's a love fest. It's a love fest in the
it's a
elevator
lot of
shaft.
yes.
Usually where it happens. Now, when there's them saying how much they love him, Xander is sure they're gonna die. He is resigned to the fact that his mortality is about to end. They say no, they just miss him. Then he calls down Giles to join in on this. You don't want to miss this, he says to Giles. I'll take my time. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. They're gonna open the elevator doors eventually, and surrounded by those nitwit soldiers. Oh my God, Brennan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're the worst soldiers since stormtroopers. Now, Adam and Spike are going to watch from a monitor. All the stuff they had closed circuit television back in those days. Spike is going to ask again. This is the third or the fourth time this episode to get his chip pulled from his head. But as they see on the monitor, Buffy not alone. Spike has failed once more. Adam's done. He's had it. He's had it. He tells Forrest, take this bloody guy's head off. It's ridiculous. You want that chip? We'll take the chip with the head and everything else. So
Mm-hmm.
Forrest is going to grab him. Luckily, Spike has a disgusting habit of smoking. And for some reason, Adam didn't tell him to butt that stinky thing out when he was in the cave or the
Mm-hmm.
monitoring room. And Spike is just going to push this cigarette into Forrest's eye. Forrest is going to let him go. And then Spike's going to run off. And Adam just says, let him go. He did a Buffy. He did a Buffy season, season two? Buffy season two.
Yep.
Whenever he get away, just, let him go. What a scamp that vampire is. No. The Scoobies are going to be brought before Colonel McNamara. He's going to say to Buffy that she has some nerve. That she can break into government facilities brandishing magic gourds. How dare she?
Oh,
Dare
yes.
she? A magic gourd. She asks, "What kind of freaks are you?" I'm like, okay, relax. this guy not paid attention to anything? He says he knows everything that's going on that place. It's like, have you paid zero attention to what's actually going on at that place? Like, how can he not tell that? Like, isn't there data about, oh, Buffy's can rip the shit out of everybody on your staff here. It doesn't matter. Like, no, he's like, whatever. No, I just don't think he was sent to the right place. He would have been better at whatever. The Salvation Army. He could have been better at Salvation Army than the initiative. There you go. Buffy's going to say that Adam is in the initiative. McNamara doesn't believe it. He says every inch is monitored 24/7. Willow's going to mention, oh, including the secret lab, which it seems that he doesn't know about, and doesn't know about the 314 project either. But McNamara is a typical, army guy. Gonna double down on his knowledge here. Giles asks how he's coming along with the plan to remove Adam's power source. I said, well, what we're gonna do, guys? Now listen up. We're gonna take all these shotguns that we have and shock them all together. And it's like, oh, good. So you're gonna bring him to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and he loves this stuff. This is ridiculous. McNamara says that, oh, you think you could tell me my business? Then we finally get the great speech here. Like as much this episode, and I might sound facetious sometimes about it, but it has some great parts. And this part where Buffy says, "No, you don't get it. This is my business." It's like you guys have no idea what you're doing here. Like the government, you army guys, Pentagon guys have no idea what's going on down here or how to handle it. It's like I was like, "At a girl." Anyways, he doesn't listen, so it doesn't really matter. He's gonna tell his soldier here that the Scoobies are under arrest. Then they're gonna take off. So it's going to take 2 seconds before those guards are knocked out. And they're going to say, well, we need to get somewhere close to where this is all going to happen. Hopefully, someplace quiet. They said, someplace quiet. And they're going to look out. And this is where the mayhem in the pit's going to start. You're going to see guys flying all over the place, demons getting shot, going down. One demon bites a scientist like he's a vampire, but that wasn't a vampire. I have no idea what. Maybe he's just hungry. Maybe they've been
Yeah,
locked up
I
in like.
guess so.
I guess he's like, well, meat is meat. I suppose is what's going on. Anyways, Willow's been looking up all the initiative schematics now. She's found air ducts leading to where there's nothing. She says, well, that's got to be it. It's right behind 314 here. So it's time to go. We finally see Graham. He shows up. He starts shooting at people. We have no idea the fate of Graham after this, but we do see him. Anyways, their gang is going to run through the pit now. Buffy's going to be in the lead, fighting her way. Now, we also have seen, we'll see Spike at some point. Slow motion fight his way through the pit as well, which was kind of, I don't know why they decided to show Spike fighting in slow motion. But, anyways, doesn't matter. It's the Scoobies. The
Mm-hmm.
find we've been looking for. Luckily, besides 314 and a hidden panel, there's a little room where they could chill out, do a spell if need be. Josh says this should be good enough. It's going to take about 5 minutes for everything to start working, for everything to kick in, if you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean. She says, well, I better go work fast there. It has them barricade the door.
Mm.
In typical, Scooby's fashion, it's a terrible job. Eventually, we'll find out of barricading it, but whatever. Now, Xander says she's uncomfortable with her going in alone. He's always a protector. She says, don't worry about it. She's not going to be alone. And she should have done the wink things like, I'm not going to be alone. So Buffy's going to go through. She sees Riley. Riley can't speak. Motion over to where Walsh and Engelman Well, anyways, their zombies are. Then we're gonna see Adam show up. Says, "Don't worry, he can't talk. He isn't programmed for it, Brennan.
Nice.
Like a human now. He's gonna tell Forrest kill Buffy. He's pretty happy about that. He grabs her, and then Walsh coming up. Minimal brain function, but knows enough to grab the bone saw to start cutting Buffy up. You know, what are you gonna do?
Good.
She does do it nice and slowly, like she's a Bond villain or something like that. So Buffy's gonna kick her. Then the fight starts. Now, a beaker's gonna break near Riley. This is gonna be important. I guess in a couple of minutes, something ridiculous. Now, the enchantment has begun. They are invoking the first Slayer here, Brennan. Now, this is kind of important because there's going to be much more on the first Slayer.
Mm,
Now, they want to join mind, heart, and spirit. The three of them, with Giles being the mind, Xander the, which also gets brought up in the last episode, which is nice,
mm-hmm.
and Willow being the spirit, with the hand, which is Buffy. And I
Uh-huh.
always I always consider this moment the Captain Power moment of Buffy, where they all combine Earth, Earth, Wind, Heart, Fire, whatever it is, to form Captain Planet, the eco superhero. If you remember from the 1990s, I think this was a huge cop out. I think this is making, yeah. I never liked how the season ended. It's mostly because of this. Also, when they finally do this thing, and it's going to come up here really quick, that Buffy has yellow eyes. Let's remember that as well. But anyway,
Nice.
Riley's going to manage to yell at Buffy at this point. And, it's like, oh, get out of the way, and stuff like that. Again, he has this chip embedded at him in his thoracic valve. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Mm,
Anyways, Forrest is going to tell her, don't worry about it. I'm going to kill her. And they're going to keep fighting. Riley's hand is going to start to move. He's going to grab that broken beaker
yep.
and cut his chest. It's gross. Also, he's wearing like army stuff, and this must be a very sharp broken beaker. Back to the ritual, you see the three of them have been given cards with the the mind, the spirit, heart. Willow's going to invoke the first Slayer's name, Sanaya, the first of the ones.
Ah,
Even though
yes.
it's later, even though it's
Nice.
later says that she's old, so old that didn't have a name, but forget about that part. At the lab, Forrest says Buffy Pin, Walsh and Engelman are right there, but now Riley has torn out the chip, which was attached to his heart. Brennan, he ripped out something attached to his heart.
Yes.
There shouldn't be any blood or anything like that. Anything that he shouldn't bleed out from his thoracic valve in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, doesn't matter. He's gonna get up. He's gonna say, "Who's gonna save you?" Riley says, "Guess what? I'm gonna do it." He's gonna tear out Walsh and Engelman's tubes, and then it's gonna take on Force. This is the fight we wanted to see for a while. Well, it would have been better if they were human versus human, but we'll take this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take
Yeah.
this or whatever. He then, Buffy's gonna go get to Adam. I'm gonna go back to McNamara. McNamara and some of his guys have finally decided to set foot on the pit floor, so he could tell everyone to stand back. Buffy's gonna get to Adam now. He knocks her down easily. She's gonna attack again. Again, easily dealt with. Adam's gonna pull out the old skewer, but she's gonna snap that thing off. She says, "Ah, I broke your arm." She says, "Don't worry about it. I got another one."
Mm.
Now, I don't know what this reminded me more. The two things that came into my head: his arm is going to turn into a basic Gatling gun.
Yes, that was a
I
little
thought of
interesting.
First, I thought of RoboCop. I thought maybe something like that happens in RoboCop. Then I thought maybe I'm just thinking of Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, the
Yes, oh
guy with the
yes,
gun arm.
yes.
Yes, Barrett, one of the best video game characters of all time. But good thing for her, Adam a shit shot. Even with all these bullets, she's gonna start running. She's gonna jump very high to get behind some machinery. I'm gonna keep shooting and shooting, somehow dodging them all. Now's when the spell kicks in. Now's when she starts floating again with the yellowy eyes.
And we
She's
get
like,
some very Matrix-like shots.
"Yes, we're gonna get especially when coming up." So I always considered her like Zool, like from Ghostbusters. You know, why the
Oh
floating? It's
yes,
like
oh yes.
my girlfriend's floating. Now she says that
There is no
Adam.
Data, only Zool.
Exactly right. She tells Adam that we are forever. Then starts speaking Sumerian. Adam, I
Oh,
know you're probably. Were you a big fan of ancient Sumerian?
apparently.
Well, I guess well, so were they. Adam finds Saul interesting, which I enjoyed. This is when we get to see the Matrixy start shooting and
Yes.
everything. Is
Oh yes.
She has like a Matrix shield in front of her. Forrest and Riley are still gonna fight. Somehow, Riley's gonna trick. Riley's gonna start hitting him with a gas canister of some
Yes.
type.
Yes.
Forrest is gonna take it. Riley's just gonna start running. Now this is seems like slow motion. He still runs a good distance. Forrest is gonna hold it above his head like he won the Stanley Cup, and hold it there for another couple seconds before finally looking up, seeing that it said explosive. I don't know what it was going to explode from. There was no. It wasn't like the thing was on fire, but it explodes, and so does Forrest. Oh, R.I.P. to Forrest. You know, we'll miss him. And
Well, I never liked him that much anyway, but
no,
you know.
I was kidding. I had never liked Forrest. I thought he was terrible. He may have had a couple of good moments, stuff like that, but yeah, ridiculous. Anyways, Adam's gun is now going to turn into a rocket propelled grenade shooter. Puts one at Buffy. Somehow she turns it into three doves. Again, this is
And
all
very, very, when doves cry kind of moment.
yes, yes. Say if you will. No, no, I'm not going to say the words. Anyways, then he's going to have his arm put back the way it was by Buffy. Now she's going to start beating his ass. She's had enough. Adam asks how this is going on. They say that them and Sanaya say he could never hope to grasp the source of their power.
Yes.
Then she's going to punch through his chest and grab out that power source. Gross, yellowy meat all
Yeah.
over it, anyways. Then we hear some more Sumerian words. Then that power thing, his little battery, uranium battery, is going to disappear. Adam falls. That's the end of him. Buffy's eyes are going to go bright red. Riley's going to show up just in time as she faints. The spell's going to end. Other room. Here comes a demon. Going to go get those Scoobies. But
Mhm.
Spike is going to stop it. And finally, we get a good scene from Spike in this entire
Yes.
episode. The least amount of whine he does. Giles is going to mute his appreciation for what Spike has done by bringing up the fact that he tried to help Adam kill them all, which
Mhm.
is maybe a point to bring up. And then we're going to see Buffy and Riley come through that barricaded door quite easily. It's not like they have to push anything over. They just open the door. They forgot about the barricading. Anyways, Spike is happy to help save other people now. Buffy says, you guys, go open up these exits." And then gets Riley to organize all the soldiers. Says she's going to take point. which
Mm-hmm.
is ridiculous. I think point means she's going to sit back and make sure everything is done to plan. Isn't that what taking point? Or does that mean being the first? Maybe that's being first.
I don't know.
She's gonna be like the point of the spear. She's gonna be the first to go and havoc over there. And anyways, as this goes on, we're gonna see a whole bunch of bureaucrats as this is happening. Now they're gonna show the bureaucrats as this is happening. I imagine this is gonna take a day or two to not do this while this is going on, and
Yes.
they're gonna discuss how the whole initiative experiment failed. I think on behalf of the fans, we can agree with that. We learned that they lost 40% of their soldiers.
All right.
And this is like, uh, all right. I don't know how the other 60% could survive. It says Maggie Witch's vision was brilliant, but unsupportable. I don't. Well, unsupportable, yes. Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know about brilliant.
Brilliant. Okay. Delusional. Even if it could work, still delusional. We see Colonel McNamara get killed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let's dedicate the rest of the show to the memory of Colonel McNamara. Anyway, the bureaucrat's going to say that demons be controlled, orders the initiation or the orders the I terminated. They're going to get rid of all records. All records are going to expunged. The soldiers are going to get debriefed. They're going to monitor the civilians, but doubt they'll go public with anything. These
Mm-hmm.
guys aren't going to go public. What are you talking about? Then orders the initiative to be buried in concrete. Brennan.
Yes.
More on that order later on because this is it. The end of the episode. The end of the Adam saga. Is that can we
Yeah.
say that? The Adam experience. I guess the initiative experience. Next time is actually the official season finale. Also, Brennan, probably the weirdest episode of any Buffy the Vampire Slayer universe ever. Weirdest episode coming up. Restless.
Yeah.
This Some things are learned, some dreams are had, some cheese is shown. Brendan, thank you so much, pal, for joining me
You're
this
welcome.
week on Rewatchers Council. By the way, while you're here, why don't you let the folks at home or in their car or wherever the heck they listen to this thing, let them know what you're up to here on the good old internet.
You can find me on Blue Sky, rainward.bluesky.social. You can also find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Page Turners They Were Not.
Oh, that's a lot. All right, buddy. Thanks to you so much. Okay. As for me, we got we got the Angel Edition of Rewatchers Council coming up here tomorrow. It's the
Mm-hmm.
again the penultimate episode for season 1 of Angel Blind Date. This title it just made no sense. Anyways,
Yes.
next I've got starting 11 over on Good Friends Better. Well, that's our sports channel. That's coming up after the international break. The English Premier League back at it this weekend. We don't have an LGRN after strike for a couple of weeks. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to talk about Angel tomorrow. Can't wait to be done with season 4 next week because season 5's coming.
Yes.
And
Oh,
it's
yes.
so much better. So much better.
It will be
Everything.
glorious.
How dare you? How
Mhm.
dare you have such a great way to end the show? But I still have to say, in the words of our good pal and fallen patriot, Colonel McNamara, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Ooh.
Bye.